Hello and welcome to Edinburgh Watch Company. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video we are going to be talking about the most striking watch from Rolex. This is the Rolex Submariner Date, the 126613LB. Now you can find out more about this watch by visiting our website at edinburghwatchcompany.co.uk, and there we'll have photographs, technical specification and pricing. But if there's anything else you'd like to know about this watch, maybe thinking about a part exchange, perhaps funding the watch, or just a chat about it, please give me a call directly. Okay, so let me just say at the start, this is very difficult in this video for me to be unbiased, impartial about this watch because I absolutely love it. I've had the earlier version of this watch myself. Gosh, let's go back even further. I bought the classic version of this in 2006. Stainless steel gold blue dial. Absolutely loved it. Wore it for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Sold it for £3,500. You know, crazy. Now, what are they, £8,500 for a nice second-hand 2006 one? But that just goes to show, you know, the long-term resale values of the Rolex sports watches. So let's wind the clock forward to 2010. The Rolex new sub came out with lots of changes. First of all, the case, the maxi case, so that was a big change to the old one. The ceramic bezel used to be aluminium, the heavier bracelet with the Glidelock clasp, and the bigger hour markers on it, so loads to change on it. But the Submariner's an absolute classic. While we're talking about watches, Submariners, etc., let me just show you what I'm wearing today. An absolute classic here from Rolex. This is the Sea Dweller. It's an old one, in fact, it's a 1665, known as the double red, from the 1970s. An absolutely lovely, lovely watch that I'm very, very proud to be able to wear today. I love the Submariners, the Sea Dwellers as watches. So that model that came out around about 2011, they introduced it with the blue dial. Originally it had like a flat blue dial, and it was the same color as the ceramic bezel. I quite liked it. I must admit I didn't love it, and I guess I was like many others. And Rolex, of course, listened to their dealers, they listened to their customers, and they said, well, we like that sunburst dial like you had in the older model. So 2014, that dial stopped and the sunburst dial came in, and I went out and bought one. Great watch, just absolutely pops. And that watch didn't change until September 2020 when they introduced the 41mm. So let's first of all talk about the specifications. So this is the Rolex Submariner Date, the 126613LB. This has the new 41mm case size. Now, in fairness, when you put the two beside each other, there's not really that much difference. The main difference really, aesthetically, is the lugs on the watch. It's a narrower lug compared to the maxi case, and the bracelet's 21mm wide at the top rather than 20. So it also had the new movement put into it as well. That movement, there's nothing wrong with the old movement. It'd been around a long time. The old movement was still performing to within plus or minus 2 seconds per day. The new movement has kept that standard, so it's an automatic chronometer movement in it. 41mm case size, and the depth that this will go down to as a Submariner is 1,000 foot. So that's where things start, and then we go to Sea Dweller, that's down to 4,000 foot, and then you've got the deep sea, which I think is 12,800 foot. In fairness, this is what most people buy. When I was 23 and I saved up and I bought my first Rolex, it was a Submariner Date, and it was £800. And today I think is 7,300 if you can be lucky enough to get one. So this is the new kid on the block. Very, very popular. We're shooting this video right at the end of March 2021. It is the watch that people, when spring comes along and they're starting to look forward to summer, this is the watch they want because the dial absolutely pops in the sunlight. Anyhow, enough chat about the background of the watch. Let's go and actually look at it right in front of the camera. So here we go. Absolutely gorgeous. So one of the other differences on the dial of this one is that the writing on the predecessor, the 116613, used to be in gold. On this one now, they've gone to white, right across the Rolex and the Submariner, and everything's in white. I have to say I really like it. I think it's really crisp. You can see the hour markers here, really large plots on them. Very, very easy to read this at night time. It's got a lovely blue lume to it. That lume's also applied to the hour hands, and the second hand you can see gently gliding around the clasp there. This also has what we call a Rehort dial in it. So that's a silver rim between the glass and the dial itself, which has Rolex written on it multiple times around the dial, and then of course the serial number at the bottom. So these watches were of course built as tool watches, and Rolex have put them through a number of tests to ensure that these watches are hardy enough for divers to use, and of course for their buyers to wear every day for many, many years, because this will outlast you and certainly one to, pass on to the next generation. So, bit of a top-down look. First of all, we have a sapphire crystal here, and then you can see you have the date function there with a 2.5 times magnification on it. The bezel here is in solid 18 karat gold, but inlaid with a ceramic bezel, again inlaid with 18 karat gold. The bezel is what we call unidirectional, because this, of course, being used as a diver's watch, you wouldn't want it to turn the wrong way when you didn't want to. Even as I turn that now, you can hear the click, you can feel the click. The engineering that Rolex put into these watches, it's like no other. And we've turned, many a bezel on watches, but this one is quite special. So looking at the side of the case, considering it's a diver's watch, I don't think it's exceptionally thick, and it's a really, really comfortable watch to wear. I mean, the Oyster bracelet's absolutely beautiful. And you can see here on the side, it has the polished steel on it, 904L grade, in-house steel. And the same on this side here. You can just look at the richness of that yellow gold. And the crown, again in yellow gold. This screws into the side of the watch with its triplock crown to make sure it's waterproof. And you can see here, you've got the crown guards as well. Now the top part of the watch here is satinized here. And then you come onto the bracelet I mentioned earlier. This has got the slightly wider 21mm bracelet, so similar to what we have in the Sea Dweller. And then the Oyster bracelet here. And you can see the polished center links running through the middle, and then the satinized edges there. So really smart, very, very sporty. And then it comes down here and joins the Glidelock clasp. Now what we do here, if we pull this down, we can actually slide this, and you can see me there just pulling it out. So the main thing is it gives you lots of flexibility in the strap to adjust it as you want to without the need for any tools. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful looking watch. Right, let me show you what it's like on the wrist. My wrist size, and I'm sure many of you watched our videos before, would be sick of hearing me saying it's an 8-inch wrist, so quite a big wrist, but absolutely spot on for me. Just look at that, absolutely beautiful. If you see me looking down here, I've got another monitor here just to try and make sure that we get this watch beautifully lined up for the camera. And you can see here where it tapers down, where it joins the clasp. But just look how well it goes, the nice crisp white shirt. I'll hold it up to camera here, and you can just get an idea of its thickness on the wrist. We'll hold that down there. I'll just give a shake that down. You can see, just fits in really nicely. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful watch. So there we are. That brings us to the end of today's short view on our Rolex Submariner Date, the new 126613LB. Now I would say we are very, very busy here, and watches are coming and going very quickly. So if it's not available when you're watching this video, I do apologize for that, but please come back and check the website, because we've got watches coming and going all the time. And if you've got a nice Rolex part exchange, I'd love to hear from you as well. So there we are, that's today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more of our videos, then please just click the subscribe button. We've shot over 500 videos over the last 5 years or so, so lots of watches to go and have a look out there. If you love your watches, it might be helpful if you're thinking of buying one at some point. If you're on Facebook or on Instagram, why not come and join us there, because we put all our latest watches up there too. And we've also started to do some collection videos as well now, where we bring out all our latest watches to share with you. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.